Welcome back, folks. Thank you for joining me. We're in a new season, and I've sorted out all the rotations on the farms. And remember, we put in these two haystacks over here, hay dryers, so we could look after our ox. And I've realised something actually. We're ploughing. Our crops are on like a four season rotation, so we can fit 3 crops and then go fallow. So we're going to need another farm. So we'll eventually have 3 farms running and 1 farm fallow. For the new sort of range of crop rotation we've got, and I've been through each farm, and we've got 2 of each crop growing in the field. So we've got 2 wheat, 2 potato, and 2 buckwheat, and then we've got 1 sunflower and 1 hemp, and we've got that on each of the farms, and it will go onto that in each of the seasons when it rotates over. So we'll always have that sort of mix. So it's much more even. If you remember a time where we had a lot of buckwheat going on, but it's great just taking out. It doesn't take long, but just taking out 5 minutes where you're not talking to yourself, and just focusing on what the rotation can be. And the realization that we need another farm. Thinking actually we could do a bridge over here and put another farm over here. That would be pretty cool. We'll do that, and I'll just speed up the game speed. So we're hiring everyone that we can on all the farms, and they're ploughing the fields and planting the crops at the moment. This last farm up here is a bit further behind. Actually, it's fallow this year, so we don't need all the workers there. But ultimately, we will have 3 farms on the go while 1 is fallow. New family settling in, so we're building our houses, that batch of 5, and I'm just giving some of these families some financial help. But can't quite seem to balance the economy yet. Seems like a bit too much effort to really try and focus on too much. Right, so we need a bit of a clear space behind the bridge. There we go, that will do it. So we'll get building that bridge, and I'll lay down a farm, and then that will be our sort of 4 farm rotation. And we'll certainly need a lot more workers to be manning all these 3 farms, because we've been struggling with the 2 if you recall. So we'll do a big expansion on the housing, but I think now that we've got inaccessible. So so it's saying this farm's inaccessible, probably because we haven't built a bridge there yet, but we can do it if it's close enough. So we'll lay it down there. We could always move it at a later date, or just maybe sacrifice 1 field in front for access. And once we've built this farm, we'll need the other things. Okay, so yeah, maybe we could just like sacrifice a field and have something like a hay dryer and a well here in the front, or not sacrifice it and still have the stuff around here. So we'll have a well, just thinking of the oxen, and then just supplying a hay dryer. Where can't build on water. Oh yeah, so we can just pop it in the corner there maybe. Inaccessible. So it has to be really near. It'll go there. Hopefully we can always move it if it's blocking a field. And we'll just put a hay barrack there. Where's its entrance? Yep, facing the right way. Okay, so we've got supply for an oxen once we get them. And looking good. I'll just make sure... Camera angle's going a bit funny there. Right, have we got all our fishermen in place? No? Oh dear. Okay, come on. Let's get everyone sorted. We've got our 3 fields. Right, let's get rid of some forestry workers. We've got loads of wood now. Let's get rid of all them. 70 wood in stock and a few bits and pieces. Get rid of our warehouse workers. Just putting everyone over to farming and fishing. We've only got 2. Yeah, okay, I think we've got everything we need. We're producing clothes. We're producing sunflower oil, which is fantastic. And we've got loads. Oh, we've got 4 shoes. That's fantastic. We've got 4 shoes and 24 sunflower oil. Let's send an envoy to our nearest and dearest neighbour, see if we can start selling some stuff. We've got a lot of pork coming through, I think. We're at our capacity of 20. Ooh, we've got a trader. What are you offering? They're offering live chicken metal parts, and they're demanding sunflower. We won't sell you the sunflower because we want to process that into sunflower oil, and we want to keep the sunflower for our pigsty. But look at how much they eat. Wow, yearly we're on 20 wheat, 15 potatoes, 20 buckwheat and 20 sunflower. That's an enormous amount of food for the pigs to be eating. Enormous amount. So maybe if we set the limit lower, maybe down to 15, then they'll eat a little bit less less food that way. So we've got 5 to slaughter, and we'll just experiment with having a few fewer pigs. We've got 20 here, so let's just put another cow and a bull over to our other shed. Cool, I've got a bull that's 8 years old. That's incredible. Can we move the bull over? Doesn't want to move over yet. Wonder if we can see why. Oh, it was the wrong shed. I'll try to move it over to itself. So, okay, so we've got 18 in our main shed, 18 in our secondary shed, 14 in our 15 in our third shed. Fantastic. So they're all going to reach their limit soon, and we'll be slaughtering loads of stuff. We'll hire someone in the slaughterhouse because I think we're going to be using that a lot more soon, and just give these guys some financial help. There we go. So we've got our new farm development there with our bridge, and we are building a cow shed over in this one, and we will need some access to hay as well. So we'll put a well next to them. Yeah, there's nothing else there yet. Put a well next to them and some hay production. Oh, family is moving out. Why are they moving out? Wonder why they're moving out. That's a new family. Do you know what? It may be because they're struggling for access for food, so I will put a market stall up here. That was always going to have to happen, and I've left the area up here to put them in. We'll get a market stall up there, and we'll put some basics like some firewood. Just means they don't have to walk too far for everything. Put some chicken eggs, and what have we got loads of? Buckwheat, probably, and possibly flour. We'll make sure it's still spinning. Yeah, we've got a bit of flour there. That'll give them a bit of instant access to stuff. We've got a well there, so plenty of water. Let's see what they've got. The family that moved out, well, it doesn't really matter because another one's moved back in, so that's a bit of a mystery. Oh yeah, these guys are a little bit short of food. Maybe that family ran out of money, actually. We've got 92 people in our fine town. I'm just upping the monthly wage on the workers and the labourers, and we'll just see if that helps people. Full farms. We've got one worker there. We'll just remove the worker from that farm. It's fallow at the moment. Full workers there, full workers here. Once they start to harvest, I'm just going to have to do that yearly battle of seeing if I can employ enough people in the farms. But we've got more people than ever, considering we've just got 2 active farms. So after a point it will be 3, but we do have these extra houses now. Just one more being built, so let's add to our row of houses. We really need to expand. Let's get that on the right orientation. Just gonna press the shift key to keep laying down loads of houses. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Big row of houses. So we're continuing our expansion, and we kitted this tannery with much more water, didn't we? Because they were doing 20 water a batch, and that's just going to be sucking the water from anywhere else locally, and it made us struggle with getting water to our pigs. Actually, if you remember, with our pigs we've hired an extra worker, and we have opened up the labour supply to labourer by hands, labourer by cart, because we did lose a couple of pigs and we came so close to losing them all, but we just saved them, which was incredible. And there they are. And we're producing lots of meat. We've currently got 17 because we've set our limit at 15. So with our slaughterer up and running, we'll be producing lots of meat now. Yeah, there we go. Sallow and pork. And we'll be producing beef before long. Trader offering salt and lime. Yes, we do need those. You beauty. They're demanding sunflower oil. We'll sell them everything we can, which is 20, and then the deal goes away. And shoes, we can offer them up to 20, but I'll just see how many we've got in our trading post. We've got 4. We've got 31 sunflower oil. So we could do with selling more oil, but we'll sell them next time. 4 shoes gives us 128, which is fantastic. So we're going to start having the money coming in, and I'm just going to go full salt because everything I can afford, which is 7 for 70, that'll leave us with 6 chamolis left. Got plenty of lime still for the tanning process, but we're running out of salt because of our dry fish, but we did put that production down a bit. And we can see we've stopped fishing because our boats need repair. So let's hire someone in the boatyard. Maybe even sack a fisherman in the hope they'll go to the boatyard. Sack someone from the farm. Come on. Yeah, there we go. We've employed someone in the boatyard. That's half the battle, employing people. And look, we've got this glitch of a path going across the field, the fenced field. But it's still in development, this game. It's still in alpha phase. Though, from reading about it, the guy has been doing this on his own for years. Ooh, they need financial help. Been doing this for years on his own, but he's finally reached out to get some help. I think he's been selling the game and making a bit of money, and he can afford to maybe hire a little bit of help. Fantastic game. So much detail, so much to do. Ooh, how many have we got there? 16, 19 and 20. We're at capacity on one of our cow sheds. We're in July, so they may have a few more babies. That's great news. This one's got all the older beasts in it though. 8 years old is our oldest bull. Probably turn that into an ox for the next farm, but we'll wait until that next farm's built. Plenty of hay for our cow sheds. Ooh, another trader. What are they after? They're after, brilliant, more sunflower oil, so we can get rid of the rest of our sunflower oil, which we did 20 and we've got 34, so maybe we'll hire another worker there. Yeah, the shoes are going now, so carts come in for the shoes. 14 sunflower oil we can sell. Cool, we'll be in the money after this. We'll be able to buy loads more stuff in. Don't think we quite have anything else to sell. Iron ore, sallow, dried fish and sunflower they're after. They're offering us hemp and textile, but we've got enough production really now to be doing our own stuff. Got another sunflower oil. So our oil workshop's working away. We've had some money come in because we're up to 203, 204. That'll be the shoes. We've got 58 wheat. We've got 32 hemp. 15 buckwheat. Can't see any potatoes. Ooh, family's moving out again up here. Wonder why they're moving out. Need to try and catch them and see what's causing that. Might be a lack of money, or they might not be getting to the food in time. Oh, we haven't provided a worker for our stall, so we'll do that. That'll probably help things. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Seems like people are moving straight back in and getting set up anyway. Pigsties maintaining the water. We found, didn't we, that we really need 2 workers for the pigsty. Otherwise, ultimately, your pigs are going to die when everyone, goes over to the farm. And here we go. We're in harvest season. We've got 91 people in our village. Let's get rid of our slaughter worker and all of our trades, just for now. Just going to be putting everyone over to production of the farm, collecting the farm stuff. Keep our builders, keep our tanner, because once you interrupt that process, there's no going back. Get rid of our shoemaker. Right, we're going to limit the granary workers, so we're taking off that extra labourer section because they can go absolutely mental there. We've had like 10 extra workers there before. Just taking all the labourers away altogether from the granary. And there we go, yeah, there's a whole load of extra labourers there now. But not in the second farm. So we've seen this before, where we've got a whole load of labourers in this first farm, and then the second farm down there, just the one. It'd be great if they split out the labour a bit more equally. Is there anyone else we can move? Got our boat builder there. Yeah, we don't need our boat builder. He's repaired those 2 boats that needed repairing. We've got a labourer there. I don't think we need an additional labourer in the fishing dock, and we'll get rid of a worker there. they will have just been bringing the salt in, I think, and removing the fish, but don't really need to remove the fish. There we go, another 2 workers there. And a few there, so it's getting a bit more even. Getting there with the farm production, just a lot to learn about what takes up all the resources, and actually these additional labourers that you can tick a button for can really suck away your labour when you really need it for the farms. And even if you press this, you know, prioritise gathering button, it doesn't necessarily prioritise it over some of the other jobs. But I think we've cracked it, folks. Look, got a huge number of labourers. And we've got 40 hemp. Ooh, I think some of the rotations messed up a bit on this farm, but we'll keep an eye on that. See if we can get it back to what it should be. I think I did do a bit of changing around mid-season. Yeah, same here. Okay, that's going to take a bit of work getting it back on track. This farm will be up and running next year. And then we'll get round to building that one, but we've got the cow shed to build first. And I've just seen our money, we're up to almost 500 bucks. Get rid of a worker from there. Probably got another batch of sunflower oil to sell, unless we've already sold it all and we've just produced more, but we did remove our worker from there. So look at that, we're growing, we're expanding, we're trying to get our housing expanded out here, so we've got another settlement. We need another farm down here, and we're doing a cow expansion down here. And we've got 3 sheds that are nearly full that will be producing quite a lot of milk now for us. Oh, great! Yeah, we've got 0.8 milk being stored there, which is the most we've ever seen. Normally, you can't maintain 0.1. Yeah, lots of milk starting to build up in the cow sheds now, just with the 1 worker. And just checking on the food in all the cow sheds. Yeah, this one's a bit lower, but I haven't set the limits higher. I'll just set the limits at 5 for the hay and the water. Just think stock more, so for whatever reasons they've got a bit more of a safety net. Lots of fish coming in, and everything's working quite nicely now this season. The only slight hiccup is that I've got some fields out of whack now, because I kind of did some changing halfway through the season, where some were already sown and some weren't, and then I kind of changed things around. I wonder how I get that back in sync. I'll do that offline, get it sorted out. You don't want to see that sort of boring stuff. But I do believe we're almost in mid-October and we're on course for harvesting all our fields, although this one had 2 fallow for some reason. There we go. Haven't quite set them up. It'd be great if you could kind of skip over to the next season, or might just have to sort of delete one, go into another, we'll see, work it out. This one we had a full farm, and again we've nearly brought in all the harvest, although 3 fields to go. Lots to do there, but they've got all the workers, and it looks like they're almost finished actually. Just a couple of labourers sort of left to add, but no more slots, that's all they need. Just the sort of the edge of the last bit of one field just needs 3 labourers and all those workers. So we're just going over a bit on the capacities for the cow sheds. We've got 21 there, 21 there, and 18 there. Now we'll get our slaughterhouse back up and running, and he'll get rid of those excess beef. Yeah, he's already started. Okay, we've got full beef production coming on now from 3 cow sheds, and our tannery will start to fill up with hides. So we need to make sure we keep on on top of salt and lime, and then activate our shoemaker when we've got a few hides. Pigs are still doing well. Keep wanting to sort of dip in there and make sure they're okay, and they are hiring a lot of extra labourers there. In my mind, I'd like to just put the limit put a limit on the number of additional labourers you can have. So for example, for them, they just had 3 labourers in a row, but I would say I wouldn't want any more than just 1 labourer at a time. That way it would maintain the labourers for the farm. What have we got? Yeah, okay, they're after some sunflower oil. Iron ore we don't have, I don't think that's a thing in the game yet, but probably coming soon I'd imagine, if it's in the trade. They're after sunflower, but no, we'll just see if we've got any sunflower oil to trade. got 15. Part of me thinks, did the other trade fall down? Sometimes things don't get taken. But we'll just do the deal again. Maybe they came when we were loading up the other sunflower oil and just didn't have time. But we did have 2 workers, so who knows. Driving forward with the house production. Full families working here. We had a situation where there was a family moving out, wasn't there? And they hadn't been in long. Just maybe now that there is a stand up here working with food to sell. That was the problem. Okay, so expanding out. Farm here. Cow production area down here. More housing, we can go all the way along. We might want to have a little gap here just so they can get down, or not. And quite like to have a bit of decoration here. We'll do that now. We're near the end of November, about to go into the next season, the predictable season. Oh, look, we can put a big arch in here. Put in a big gap. Big archway, it's done. And we'll put in a couple of trees, these nice cottonwood trees. You plant them and then they have to grow. So, well, you put them down, they have to then plant them, then grow. And then we'll make people go through the arch by linking up the fence. And then we'll link up the fence at the other end. Cool, forces them through the arch, and that'll create a bit of a pathway, a bit more centrally maybe. There we go, there's the season, and we did get all of our crops in, which is fantastic. So we've got a few more people, got 95 now, it's really growing, and we've got people looking for a job even. Let's get rid of everyone in the farms and put them all on the winter work, which is things like food production in the slaughterhouse and clothing production and all that. Probably have a couple of people on clothing on each of those, and we'll put someone in the oil workshop. Let's process a bit more flour, and probably quite happy. We've got a tanning process going on at the minute. I don't know how many hides we've got. Oh look, we've got almost $700 or whatever it is, 80 wheat, so we can certainly have 2 people on at the windmill. We've got 1.1 beef, 46 buckwheat. We've got 0.7 flour. We've got 1 hide, which we turn into leather. And we're just doing batch sizes of 2 at the moment until we get our hide production up. We've got 2.2 milk, which is quite a lot. It's the most we've had, I think. 0.8 pork. 23 potatoes. We do seem to get through the potatoes quite quickly. But we are using them quite a lot in the pigsty. There we go, look, 4 workers we had there at the pigsty. And 5, wow. And I've seen it in the granary. Hire someone at the granary again. I've seen the workers at the granary up to, 10 additional labourers or something crazy like that. Just putting workers back onto the winter stuff, so let's get them in the forestry, get our wood supplies up again to build all these houses. We'll add to these houses as well as soon as they get nearer the end. Got our 2... Oh, there we go. Got a worker back. Coming and going at the trading post. Oh, we've got rid of our sunflower. There we go, 765 in our money bank. Seem to be producing enough nails, got 300 and odd, so that's good. And we've got full workers in the forestry now, so they'll be clearing these trees and actually, well, mainly focusing probably on these trees they planted in the field. Might need 1 more field. It'll be interesting to see what happens to 1 field when it's completely emptied. I'd imagine it should be replanted. Got a trader. What do you want? So they're after sunflower and they're offering live chicken and metal parts, but that's not really anything we need. So we're doing pretty well. We've got pretty low level productions on everything. We've built pretty much one of everything we can, and now we're focusing on expansion. So once we get this extra farm, we're going to have a 4 farm rotation, and I'm going to work out the crop rotation for the fields. Could potentially start building granaries in different places, but then we know they take workers, and if you allow them to have labourers, they can have a huge number of labourers. we've got everything we need here. We could potentially start expanding out to having another fishing dock to get a bit more fish. And we've got our slaughterhouse on the go, pretty much employing someone in the slaughterhouse whenever we can now. And there would be an argument to have another windmill to increase production there, but we are hiring 2 people at our windmill. I'm just looking at to see what else there is. We haven't created a water platform. It's a basic source of water that you put on the water's edge, and it has an unlimited supply of water, but it can't be used in the winter. So that would be quite good as maybe a general sort of backup, especially if you had like a tannery near it, then it wouldn't use up all the water. That would be an idea. We've just got one type of house which we're building loads of. Got a couple of car parking stands which are doing well. We've got a town hall. We've not done a huge amount on decoration. We could certainly do a lot more, maybe even in our sort of town square, which we could look forward to doing, and maybe dot around another few benches in places. So I'll put some benches along these houses at some point, because they were getting used, weren't they? We've got nothing available in education at the moment, or in health, and for religion we've built that small chapel in there, and our burial plots down here, which have started filling up, unfortunately, but that's life. So we've got a bit of everything, and we've got 3 full cow sheds now, almost 18 there, and we've got quite a lot going on in our slaughterhouse. Spare hide there. That'll get taken over to our tannery at some point, and we've started producing shoes. We'll put someone on the shoe production there. Got 95 people in our village, and we've got 6 women looking for work, and no men. We're getting into a good place with our treasury as well, so we're getting quite a lot of money in now with some of the things that we're producing. So stay with me, and we're just going to keep expanding, see how big we can go, and how far out we can expand, and really see where we can take this with the outer sort of scaling limits of the game. So thank you for joining me in this episode, and we'll see you next time, where we're going to just be expanding.